So hey guys, today we're going to look at what's the difference between forward proxies and reverse proxies. It might be a little confusing for people which one to use and stuff like that, but you will soon realize it's quite simple actually. In fact, they're not related at all. So, but before I reveal that, I want to take you through so that this question doesn't. So I'm from proxiesapi.com. We deal with rotating proxies. It's a forward proxy, but we'll come to that later. Forward proxies basically do this, right? Suppose you are on your laptop and you want to access Hulu from outside the United States, and Hulu is blocked for you. What you're going to do is because your IP address is shown to be coming from Croatia, whatever, what you need to do is connect to this other server. This is called forward proxy right there, and that one can be in the United States. In fact, here the picture is sort of wrong a little bit. The forward proxy typically can either be inside a network to proxy all requests and control them, let's say in a corporate environment, or if you are on the internet, you can use that to free yourself a little bit actually and access more content than you can. So if forward proxy takes your request from your laptop or your mobile device and forwards it to the internet, the internet, let's say Hulu.com, thinks it's coming from the United States because the forward proxy is sitting in the United States and has no problem passing the information back, whether it's video or whatever, and that is just sort of relayed back to you, and Hulu is none the wiser, right? So that's how forward proxies work, and anything called VPN and all these things are forward proxies. And what are reverse proxies? Reverse proxies are actually got nothing to do with you as a user. That's got everything to do with people like us who are developers. So, for example, requests come from the internet, and because so many requests come, for example, even in Proxies API, we have a few hundred clients who make a few million API calls to our web servers. So, through the internet, these calls come into our network, which is a server network. As you can see, there are no laptops here, and to our reverse proxy. In this case, the reverse proxy is our Amazon. We host it on Amazon, and the Amazon load balancer really is the reverse proxy. And then the reverse proxy can choose amongst a responding to respond with a set of workup machines. And it can choose based on the kind of request and the load that's there. In fact, we do that here based on the kind of request clients use to call our API. We route it to different servers, one to a Docker container, for example, or one to a CGI script, basically. All these things we do. And then the reverse proxy responds back, which is the load balancer responds back to the internet, as in whoever was the caller of that, who himself might be behind a proxy, as you can see, right? So we could be all be pretending here, and let's put it all together just for fun of it. And in fact, before I do that, we have to know that these are a comparison between apples and oranges, even though the only thing that's being common between them is the word fruit. The same way, the only thing that's common between reverse proxies and forward proxies is the word proxies. And but the user of it is totally different. The forward proxies are used by the general public, and the reverse proxies are used internally by system administrators and developers in the server infrastructure realm. Right? So let's put it all together where both sides are pretending to be somebody else. So here is a forward proxy, and a bunch of users send a request to the forward proxy, which pretends and works on behalf of those bunch of users and goes through the internet and reaches the reverse proxies, which pretends that it is the endpoint and routes it to any of these other servers behind the scenes and gets the data and gives it back, and the forward proxy further then gives it back to the end customer. So this is all it is. So for you, I'm assuming if you're not a developer, then forward proxy is all you need to worry about. And if you are a developer, reverse proxy is probably not what you need to worry about, mostly anyway, unless you are setting something up on the server side, which is not something that you do every day. You might need a forward proxy though for web crawling, and so we have Proxies API, which is our service, which is a forward as well as a reverse proxy. So for all practical purposes, what you can do is we act as a proxy for you, a forward proxy, which can get any URL like here. Right? You can see that the URL example.com, it passes through our servers, and we in fact send it to a bunch of proxy IPs that we have, a million of them. So not even three like you're seeing here. These are not just three servers. We have more than a million of them, and at any point in time we get the results from any one of those. And we have a running offer about 1,000 API calls completely free. Register and get your free API key here at proxiesapi.com, and you can just do this curl request right now. If you do it, no credit card required, in 2 minutes you'll be able to register and get your own API key which you can play with.